Well, it is my pleasure to welcome to our podcast this week. It is the WBC Cruiserweight World Champion, Badou Jack. Badou, it's been a while since we've talked, but you have a important fight coming up. You'll be defending your title in a rematch against Noel Mikaelian, former champion. Take place
Yeah.
December 13th at the Ace Mission Studios in Los Angeles. It's the headliner of the Bash Promotions pay-per-view. That's going to be available all over. I was looking at all the places people can see it. Integrated Sports, PPV.com, Prime Video, Triller TV, so anybody can check it out. So welcome to the show. Thank you very much for doing this.
Wow, thank you.
Appreciate that. All right. So you have won, Badou, world titles at super middleweight, at light heavyweight, and in 2023 had a very big win, a great knockout victory against Junior Makabu to win this WBC cruiserweight title. And then I know there was word from the WBC, it was discussed at their convention, that you were interested to go up to their newly created Bridgerweight division to try to become a champion yet another weight class. That did not happen. There was a lot of back and forth politics, fights that didn't happen, that fell out, this and that. And then you ended up not fighting for 2 years. Can you just briefly explain sort of what was going on there and the disappointment of not getting that opportunity and having that very long layoff?
Yeah, so basically at the time I was with the Skills Challenge,
Yep.
the other Saudi promoter before Turkey took over. And yeah, I guess they paid step aside money to the guy that was the mandatory for that title or something. So they wanted me to become a four division champion, and that was the plan against this. I think it was a Polish guy. Um, then Saudi politics, whatever. Prince Khalid, who was the head of Skill Challenge, yeah, they removed him from boxing or whatever, and so that fight never happened. And then, yeah, a lot of politics. Been waiting for a fight since then, and I guess they put me in champion in recess while I was gonna move up, and
Mm-hmm.
then um, that's the reason why Mikaelian fought for my vacant belt, and then we was trying to fight him, and he his brother at the WBC convention last year. His brother represented him, and they I talked to him, and he said, "Yeah, let's make the fight." Blah blah blah. And then when Sunday we were supposed to get up on stage and talk in front of the WBC, and they didn't want that fight. And then Mauricio said, "We're here to solve this situation. You have a mandatory champion in recess, current champion. This is all a mess, and you don't want to fight the champion." And he's the biggest name out of all of you guys too.
Right.
And then so I was like, yeah, why don't I fight the mandatory whatever the Canadian guy? I you know
Rozicki.
yeah. So they downgraded him back to champion in recess, and they upgraded me back, and then yeah, and then he got injured. So they was like, who you want to fight? I said because this is a mess with all the mandatories and champion in recess. Let me just fight. Mikaelian, so I can move on and fight the unification fights. You
Well,
know, I
so
could
you're
have
right. I
fought
mean,
some
you
easier fights, but I said, give me him.
you used the perfect word. The WBC cruiserweight title situation has been an absolute mess, not for the
Yeah,
fault of the fighters so much, but a
yeah,
lot of the scheduling issues, injuries, politics,
yeah,
has, but you ultimately had the 2 year layoff. Uh,
yeah.
how frustrating was that?
Very, very frustrating. Yeah, I mean, I was back on top.
Yeah.
I had a great fight and everything, and then yeah, we lost the momentum a little bit. But yeah, I'm still here. I've been training super hard ever since, and yeah, now we got that fight. It wasn't my best fight, but I clearly won in my opinion, and it was a close fight, but nobody except from his team, you know, and thought that
So
was a
you're talking about the fight that took place this past May. You
yeah with
fought
McCallum, yeah,
McCallion in
yeah,
Riyadh. It was on the undercard when Canelo Alvarez had the headliner against William
yeah,
Skull, and like you said, you won. You won that fight very close. One thing I wanted to ask about that, and I find this very fascinating. I've talked to some other fighters who've been in the same situation because the
yeah,
fight was in Saudi Arabia and they were doing it to make it more conducive to the North American time zone where
yeah.
Canelo's fans were. You guys fought in the middle of the night, which is a weird thing, I think, for most fighters. Uh,
Actually, morning. It was 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. something like
yeah,
that.
well, that's right. That was right.
Yeah.
What was that like? Just because it was kind of a weird vibe because it's not like a regular time where you would be
Yeah.
in a boxing match.
I mean, it's the same thing for everybody though. So my opponent, everybody that was on the card is weird, super weird. But yeah, we had to train like fight week, like at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Yeah, it was a little difficult, but there are no excuses. It's a fight, so who cares what time it is? If somebody jump you on the street,
Right.
you're gonna check what time it is? No, you gotta fight. So
That's a great way to, I never thought about it like
yeah,
that, but you're right about
yeah,
that. So you guys
yeah.
had it was a pretty good fight, but a very close fight, as you mentioned. In the end, the two judges had the fight 115 to 113 for you. The third judge
Yeah.
had it 114, 114. You win the majority decision. You said just a minute ago it wasn't your best fight. Could you more assess your performance in that? Because I've certainly seen you fight better over the years.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe a little bit of ring rust and switch of opponent, 5 in the morning, all that stuff. But yeah, if to me in before the 12th round, my coach was like, "Yeah, all right, it's the 12th round, last round." I was like, "Last round?" It felt like it was like 7, 8 rounds, it was like a sparring session. So it
Right.
wasn't. Yeah, I was definitely not tired and nothing. I didn't push myself. So yeah, but I'm glad that we have the fight again, so I can show everybody that this guy is not on my level. But at the same time, we're wasting time and stuff for the big fights. But
Right.
yeah, it is what it is. Don King, uh, his
His
promoter
promoter.
appealed, which is crazy. But yeah, I guess
So
he's been a good friend with the WBC. But the same thing with me, Mauricio and they show me a lot of love, and I got nothing but respect for them.
So you mentioned that he did take the match on about 3 weeks' notice because your original opponent, Ryan Rosicky from Canada, had suffered an injury. And so,
Yeah,
like you said, when the fight was over and it was close, and they had a very, like a 1 point or 1 round decision win for you on the two cards, they appealed to the WBC to ask for a rematch. It was ordered. I know you said you want to, prove to him that you're the better man, but were you a little disappointed they ordered the rematch? Because, like you said, time's a waste, and there's some other bigger fights out there. You had other champions that were
yeah.
looking for other unification fights and bigger fights themselves. But now you're in a position where you have to run it back.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's insane to me. Nobody want to see this fight other than his teammates, his manager maybe, and his family. So nobody want to see that. But now it is what it is. We're here. But imagine all the time that I've been robbed maybe 4 times from bullshit draws and with DeGale and Stevenson. I never get no rematch, and this is a close fight with a no name guy nobody care about, and they're gonna order a rematch. But yeah, it is what it is.
One of the craziest things I have ever seen in my time, I've been
Yeah,
covering boxing almost 26 years.
yeah,
They did a purse bid for this match, this rematch,
yeah,
and Bash Promotions, which is ultimately going to be the company that's promoting this pay-per-view fight, and
yeah,
Don King, his promoter, they bid the same amount. I've never seen a tie purse bid. I asked
mm,
Mauricio Suleiman from the WBC about that. He said in all of his years in boxing, and he's conducted and been involved with 1,000 purse bids, also has never seen a tie purse bid. Both of them bid $250,000. Uh,
that's crazy.
I mean, when you heard that, like, did you? I mean, you're going to be the answer to a trivia question, I think, for a long, long time. What's the purse bid that was a tie? When you heard that, what were your thoughts? That was wacky.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't even follow it. I know it's good. This is training camp money, not even. So, yeah, it's crazy. But that's what I'm saying. Nobody want to see this fight. So the WBC would have made more money. Everybody would have made more money if it fight like a real name. The other champions.
So you're doing this, I guess, to you want to preserve your title.
Yeah, I
In
mean,
other
of
words,
course.
you can't make a guy fight. I mean, if you didn't, but if you want to keep the belt, you got to do the rematch, right?
Yeah. No, I want to fight. This is not. There was not like a great performance. I won though. To me, I clearly won. It was a close fight, but it wasn't like he was holding. I was the aggressor. I was landing the cleaner punches. I mean, like I don't even understand why.
So what do you think you
Um,
learned then from the first fight that you want to make sure that you do better when you face him in this rematch?
everything. I feel like I'm stronger. I'm faster. I'm a smarter fighter. I have better defense. I have better experience. Everything. So yeah, I look
Was there
better. Everything.
was there anything that he did in the first fight that you feel like he
Mm.
did well, or at least well enough in the eyes of the judges to have it so close?
Yeah, I mean he's a consistent. He was okay, but nothing exceptional. He's a decent fighter, but yeah, when I'm on my A game, it's not going to be no close fight.
You have been a professional, Badu, for a long time, 16 years.
Yeah,
That's a long career by any stretch in terms of boxing. What
yeah.
kind of goals do you still have? Is it a matter of that still you harbor desires to move up and try to win a title in the Bridgerweight division? Is it to unify titles in the Cruiserweight division, or is there something else?
You're definitely unified in the cruiserweight. I want to become undisputed, and then we'll see.
So Bridgerweight's not so much on your mind anymore, I guess.
No, it was just at that time, to just to say you became a champion in four different weight classes, and I was actually gonna go beat that guy and then continue at cruiserweight.
Okay, so you mentioned about unification fight. So Jai Opetaia, he is considered the lineal champion. He has the IBF
Yeah,
title. He has a mandatory that's coming up. You have
yeah.
Zurdo Ramirez, who has two of the other two belts. Obviously, you
Hmm.
have the fourth belt. Zurdo is coming off of a surgery. He's going to have a tune-up fight in January, and then he signed to
Hmm.
defend against David Benavidez in May. If you could choose as a unification fight, assuming you do well and everything works out for you on December 13th, is there one of those two that you would most rather fight for unification?
I mean, you look at it two ways. I want to fight the guy that they say is the best out of them, and it looks like they saying Opetaia is the best. But then again, also. Who's bringing the most money. He got a
Right?
country behind him, Ramirez. But yeah, like he's busy with he's actually fighting a guy from my country and one of my boys, he used to be my sparring partner. He's a good kid,
Is
Robin.
that
He beat Kovalev,
who?
Robin Safar.
Oh, so that's who Zurdo is going to fight come up in January.
In January, yeah,
Yeah.
and then he fight Benavidez. So I guess Opetaia is the only one that's going to be available. So I would love to fight him. I called him out last year. I was trying to make that fight. We did a face off in Saudi. So I've been waiting for that fight.
Well, I mean, either one of them would probably be interesting matchup, and obviously
Yeah.
a lot at stake because of the belts and the fact that you guys are all at the top of the division. Um,
Yeah.
I want to take you back just for a minute because every time your name comes up or I think about a Badou Jack fight, this fight was being promoted and getting ready to take place. Take you back for a minute. I was ringside at the Barclays Center. You had a unification fight. You mentioned James DeGale's name a little earlier. It was a
Mhm.
WBC IBF super middleweight unification fight. You got knocked down in the first round. You knocked him down in the 12th round, and there was all kinds of chaos in between. It was one of the best fights I can remember being at for a very, very long time. Just a superb fight. I think dramatically underrated when people talk about the great fights of that era. Uh,
Yeah.
what are your memories of that fight, and why did we never get the rematch between you and James DeGale?
I couldn't make the weight, but it was a great fight. Yeah,
Oh my
the
goodness!
knockdown. It was a flash knockdown. It was a balance shot. In the first round, I think I knocked out his teeth, and
Yep.
yeah, I hit the ref. I knocked down. I dropped the ref. It was a crazy
By
fight. Yeah.
accident, right? By accident.
Yeah. Javante Davis he was a co-main. He became a champion. It was good. It was a good night.
That was a bonkers fight though. This is back
Yeah,
in so people have time reference 2017. Uh,
yeah,
I think probably one of the best super middleweight fights, frankly, in the history of the division.
yeah. No, it was a great fight. So yeah, I've struggled to make weight for the fight before that against Lucien Bute. So I was like that. I couldn't make the weight for that fight, but I made it. And then I was like, yeah, this is my last. Let's do this unification. That's my last fight at super middleweight. And then even light heavyweight wasn't easy for me. So yeah, that's the reason. But yeah, after that, he was done after that fight. He lost
Pretty
to
much. Yeah.
Eubank. Yeah, so
He
and I'm still
actually came.
champion almost 10 years later.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy
you
when you
know
think
who
about it.
really won that fight?
That's a good point. He actually
Yeah,
came back not that long ago, and I think he had a bare
yeah,
knuckle fight. In the recent
yeah,
weeks.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
dude, you're 42 years old. Like I said, you've been doing this 16
Two.
years. You're still on top in terms of being a champion in the cruiserweight division. But have you
Yeah.
given thought about like how much longer you want to do this? I mean, it's been a long career.
42, not 43.
I said
Um,
42. 42.
oh, I thought you said I heard it wrong. I don't know. We'll see.
Do you
A
still have
few
that
more
hunger though to
fights.
keep training and keep putting yourself
Yeah.
through all the struggles?
Always, always, always. And now that I'm moved up in weight, I don't really have to struggle to make weight that much. So I feel good. I feel great. So we'll see. I take one fight at a time. I would love to become undisputed, and we'll see.
Well, it starts with Noel Mikaelian in the rematch. I know you want
Yeah.
to have a more clear-cut victory in the second fight than you did in the first fight. So I wish you best of luck on December 13th, and I appreciate you doing this for me. Best of luck to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Take care.